Red Suitcase Project, it was an intergenerational project that we worked on with Hereford College of Arts degree students. And the idea was that we would work with 3 care homes in Herefordshire to create quilts, and each home was creating their own quilt, which would then come together to be displayed both here at the courtyard and at an international quilt festival. The most important part of this project was that element of discussion and the younger people working with the older people.
I think the perceptions that older generations to the younger generations vary differently. We were in a setting where we had 3 fantastic young girls come in, and I do think that the gap was bridged in the differences, if of course there were any. Our residents welcomed them with open arms. It was just a wonderful experience for them.
Quilting is a very old craft and has always been a very community-based craft. There's always been a tradition of generally groups of women getting together and talking while creating these beautiful textile objects. And we wanted to take that idea and that tradition and use it within a care setting.
We got training for the project beforehand. One lot was delivered by Age UK, and that trained us in how to deal with dementia patients and elderly residents. It was really useful, especially from a perspective of people that hadn't ever experienced working with vulnerable adults before.
The name The Red Suitcase came from a stack of vintage suitcases that the girls would take out with them to the projects. So each group would go to the care home and they would have a red suitcase with them, and within that they had all of the things that they would need to create a quilt.
Had a cup of tea, listened to some music. They ended up reminiscing, and the young people asked them so many different questions. It was just noisy, but in a good way.
The project was fantastically successful. We brought these 3 beautiful quilts out of it, which were then displayed at Festival of Quilts. And the 3 different quilts were, despite being given exactly the same materials and exactly the same brief, they were all really different and reflected the homes and the residents that lived within them.
I think it was nice for the residents to take part in the project purely because it was somebody different coming into the home. They were fresh, they had new ideas, and they were able to share ideas, and the residents listened to them as well.
I learned a lot about people skills, interacting with older people, because I think that's a skill that every young person should have. And developed relationships with the care homes, because the care home that I went to, I still go and see.
This project formed part of their work-based learning module, so they were all doing this as part of their course. And I think when they started, a lot of them had signed up for it because they was textile in their focus. But by the end of the project, every single one of them had got something really personal from it and had a really good connection with the residents they were working with.
When you go into the care home, you realise how that person sat there isn't just a person sat there. They've walked the world for about 85 years, and that's just astounding, the amount of knowledge they had.
I think for them to actually be involved in this project just reminded them and brought home to the things that they used to do, so it was a very powerful project.